Hello, welcome to the Mark on Marketing live show. I'm your host, Mark Weisenburger. I am a disruptive marketer and a two-time #1 best-selling author. Yes, if you've been following me, I got my new books in with the best-selling author badge, so I'm pretty excited about that. For those of you that are brand new and this is the first time you've ever joined us live on this show, I want to welcome you and let me tell you or share with you just a little bit about me, who I am, and why you should be listening to me. As I said, I'm a disruptive marketer, two-time best-selling author, and I work with entrepreneurs and small business owners to help them achieve the ACE, in other words, authority, celebrity, and expert status so that you can sell more products and services in your industry with less effort. And just real quick, I'm going to come in here and I am going to see if the show is working, which it doesn't appear to be for some odd reason. So let me just refresh that while we're doing that. But we do have a great show, and while I'm waiting for that to refresh and see if it will come up, let me just share with you, anytime during the show, please leave a comment, like us, share us. That's what I'm going to do right now, is I'm going to share me onto my personal feed. There we go. We got to share, and I'm going to leave a post. And so now this is streaming not only right here on my fan page, but it is also streaming on my personal news feed as well. And again, I've got a TV up here, monitor up here, so if I look up a little bit, you'll know that I'm not ignoring you. I'm just looking and watching for comments. So please go ahead, give a thumbs up, give us a little heart, leave a question, make a comment, and your comments do not have to agree with what I'm saying. If you disagree with what I'm saying, leave a comment. What good is a disruptive marketer, consultant, expert if they agree with everything you say, or if you agree with them or they agree with you? So let's just go over the agenda for today's show, and then we'll get started. The first article that we are going to share today is going to be the 5 hottest areas for business-to-business marketing right now. And then we're going to get into the educational moment given by me, just a thought and experience of what happened to me, and give you a new way to thinking of your marketing investment. And then if there's time, we'll go into 26 tips for better Facebook engagement. Now, obviously, we won't cover all 26, and we may not cover any of those, depending upon the time frame that we have going on. But either way, both articles, there will be a link in the comment section tomorrow morning. So make sure you come back and dig into these articles and really understand what is in them. So the first one I want to share comes from Huffington Post. Now, the Huffington Post is a pretty major newspaper news publication. And this was published on October 3rd, and the title is The 5 Hottest Areas for Business-to-Business Marketing Right Now. And the article starts off with this sentence. Well, let me just clarify one thing before we get in there, because I was asked last week, what does B2C and B2B mean? And I was having a conversation with a business owner, and I thought they would understand this. So I just want to explain this just in case you've never heard the term. B2B is business to business marketing. For example, you own a business. You are a business owner. I own a business. I'm marketing to you. So that would be B2B marketing. B2C is business to consumer. For example, as a general rule, businesses buy car, but as a general rule, the marketing that you see on TV, you hear on radio, or on the billboards is B2C. It's that business, that auto dealership trying to market to you as an individual consumer. So that's the difference between B2B and B2C. So the article starts out, marketing as a B2B company requires a much different approach than an approach used by a B2C. Now, the reason I'm using this article is because I want to prove a point. And I am going to disagree with a lot of information that they're sharing, or at least not the information they're sharing, but the concept that there's a big difference from B2B and a B2C. Now, obviously, if you are a B2C business and you have an impulse item that someone buys $5, $10, $20, and they just say, wow, gee, let's try that, no big loss, then obviously, yes, that's different than marketing to another business where they are looking at a $500,000 piece of equipment or $1 million piece of equipment. So there's obviously a little difference there. So let's go on. The first one is email marketing services. Email marketing has been a success for businesses since the early days of the internet. It is surprising for many business owners to know that this is still one of the most effective ways of marketing still to this day. And so I'm just going to pause right there. Email marketing is very effective. And this is just a side note. What if you could add to that email marketing a text message, whether it's a business owner or a consumer, a text message? Let's say you send out an email with urgency, a timeline. Now, we all know that if you receive a 15 to 20% email open rate, you are super awesome. You're doing something right. So what if you were to send a text, say, hey, I just sent you an email regarding ABC. It's time sensitive. Make sure you look at it today. That would spur the open rate. It would make that email marketing campaign more effective. Or how about if you were to follow up with print material with those email subscribers? And that's a whole nother story, a whole nother conversation, but it is possible. It's a very effective way to market because, again, email, you're at 15 to 20%. They open it, they read it, they close it, you are gone out of their mind forever. Think about it. How many emails have you opened, said, that's interesting, I'll come back later, and you never make it because you get busy? So anyway, the article goes on. Creating an email with relevant and useful content can lead to existing customer purchases from you again. This can also help with generating or getting new customers to join you. It continues on. Many different companies such as Kohl's and Marshall's have found email marketing to be very useful for them. So I have to laugh because here the title is the hottest areas for B2B marketing right now. And the two examples that they share with us is two B2C stores. Kohl's, I'm not familiar with Marshall's. I've heard of it, but we don't really have Marshall's around Utah. But I'm assuming it's a department store just like Kohl's. But they are both B2C businesses. And in this B2B article on how different it is to market to the two, they use a B2C example. And I thought that was humorous and funny and something to catch. So they're really kind of contradicting themselves right there. Also, look in your own email box. If you've ever bought anything from Amazon, you receive information, email, from them on a daily basis. And if you go and search something, then you receive another email on a daily basis to remind you that you went and searched for that. Excuse me, sorry about that. So, email marketing services, there's really not a lot of difference between B2B and B2C. And it says 5 hottest areas. There's actually 6. They have 2 number 2s. So the first number 2 is quality marketing of your content. While content marketing has exploded itself as being one of the most beneficial marketing strategies, while certain production needs to be relatively high, it also needs to be quality and marketed correctly to make an impact on the search engines. And I won't go through the rest of this, but it's talking about search engine optimization. So again, are businesses the only one that uses search engines to find stuff? No, you as a business or you as a consumer, you probably use Google once or twice or 100 times a day, depending upon your situation, what you're looking for information. And there's one other point I want to make here. They talk about search engine optimization. And yes, when you create a video, when you write an article or a blog post, you want those to be keyword rich. However, there are only 8 to 10 spots for organic posts on the front page of Google. So if you are relying solely upon search engines to find your stuff and get that in front of your ideal market, you are going to be sorely disappointed because it's not going to happen. For those of you that were on the show last week, I talked about 22 Social. 22 Social. And I was watching a training from them this last week, and they made the comment, we don't expect any organic search to our Facebook webpage. We have clients, so we want them to refer individuals to us. We have certified experts, which I'm one of. They want me to refer them as well. And then they do paid advertising, Facebook campaigns, and I'm not sure what else. So you must do that. And that doesn't matter if it's B2B or B2C, it's all the same. Social selling helps a lot. Social media has opened up a door for a salesperson to directly communicate with the prospect. This allows you to answer any questions or customers may have and help them find solutions to their problems. Again, this works for B2C. As a perfect example, when I bought my new car 4 or 5 months ago, my sales guy heard that I was looking for a new car. And so through Facebook, he sent me a message through Messenger saying, hey, here is a car you might be interested in. I looked at it, we communicated back and forth, and 4 or 5 days later, I was in the showroom signing the paperwork. So it's not just for B2B where that applies. Look at augmented data. Data is important, especially online. I don't care if it's online or offline. Data is extremely important. But this is what really gets me. So again, remember, they're saying B2B here. It says even in B2B, this is important, and I'm not going to finish the sentence. So they're saying, even in B2B, if you're in B2C, it's really important, but even in B2B. So they kind of contradicted themselves right there. And I'm going to share with you at the end of this article why I'm doing this. 4, automated software. I'm not going to read what's in there just for lack of time. But when you receive your emails from Amazon, it's automated. When you receive a text message from a business, it's automated. Number 5 or 6, so measure marketing systems. Calculating your ROI and measuring the activities on it can help you understand what's going on in your business and where you are going wrong in your marketing strategies. It's just as important for B2C businesses to do this as B2B. And I'm glad they brought up this last line that I'm going to read. Although you're selling to businesses, you are also selling to consumers. Now, their definition of consumer here is a little different than mine, but I want you to look at when you're selling to B2B, I don't care if you're selling to the purchasing agent of a company, if you're selling to a CFO of a company, or if you're selling to a small business owner. All three of those individuals are still human beings. They still make buying decisions just like everyone else. First, they make them emotionally, and then they justify them logically. So you need to market and sell to these individuals as if they're a consumer buying your product for themselves, and then get them excited, get their emotions involved, and then help them justify why they need to pay you 10, 15, 20% more than their competition, or your competition rather, because they are human beings, they are consumers. So you treat them the same way as you would treat someone if you were selling B2C. So if you have any questions or comments, you disagree with any of that, leave that below. Give us a thumbs up, share a heart with us. And I just looked at my screen and I realized that today's sponsor is WSC Specialty Contractors from Pleasant Grove, Utah. So we appreciate their sponsorship today. And we'll move on. And again, like and share us. And I've got this crawling going on, and so we'll go in. But the question I pose to you next, and we're moving into our educational moment now, and I want to ask a question. So if you have a marketing campaign, and I'll just use some ridiculously small numbers just to illustrate this point, but if you are spending $100 on a marketing campaign, and let's say you receive 20 customers or clients from that marketing campaign, do you ask yourself, how can I spend less money? How can I spend, instead of that $100, how can I just get away with spending $90? And I want you to type a comment, whether you're live right now or if you're watching the replay, the broadcast, go ahead and leave a comment. Yes or no? Are you always trying to figure out how to spend less money in your marketing to get the same number of clients? You know, why wouldn't you be asking yourself that question? Doesn't that just improve the ROI on that marketing campaign? So now that you've had a minute to type yes or no, I want to pose another question to you. The question you should really be asking, and that is, how much more money should I be spending on this marketing campaign? How much more can I spend to get more clients? And the reason I bring this up is I want to share an experience with you that happened to me this last week. So, as many of you know, I work out of my home office. And I just happened to be taking a break last week. Actually, it was earlier this week. It was like Tuesday. I was taking a break, talking to my daughter, and we hear this banging on the door. And in the banging on the door, my daughter said, you know, I'm not going to answer that. I hate answering doors. And as a general rule, when I'm home working, someone rings the doorbell, they knock on the door, I do not answer because I'm busy. However, this day, I was a little bit antagonistic, I guess. I was looking forward to arguing and debating with a door-to-door salesperson, which I knew it was. So I went to the door, all excited to tackle this door-to-door sales person using push marketing instead of pull marketing and give them a little education. And as I open the door, there's no salesperson there. And I look out on the road, there's a big FedEx truck. So I look down on my porch or patio, and there is a FedEx package. And I'm thinking to myself, what in the world did my wife buy this time? And why was it so important that she spent $20 or $15 on this package to get it delivered to us overnight. Now, FedEx offers ground, but most people associate FedEx with overnight. And so that was my first thought. And as I reached down to pick up this package, I notice it's addressed to me. And I'm thinking, I didn't order anything, especially with FedEx shipping. If I had ordered FedEx shipping, I would remember that. But I opened it up, and this is what I found in there. All this information, and I'll go through this one by one just for fun and to illustrate a point. So the first thing here is a big postcard. On the back, they have the return address, some information, room to stick a label, and a stamp over here to mail that. And this is actually the perfect size of postcard that you want to use if you use direct response postcards. So I'll leave that down. I then go and I find a 30-page, and the lights are kind of stopping it, I think. I don't think you see it, but it's a 30-page booklet, magazine catalog, color inside and out. Not cheap to print, right? And then I keep going, and there's a 10-page smaller catalog. Again, color inside and out. Again, not cheap. They've had to fold it. They've had to bind it, put the staples there. And so that's not cheap. And then I went, let's make a deal. It's a postcard. Now, I honestly have not looked inside this. It says open and read this only if sitting on the fence. Let's make a deal. So I'm just curious, what is in here? And so you and I, we get to see this for the first time. And I pull that out, and here we go. It's just another sales letter. What is it, about a 6-page sales letter telling me, trying to convince me to get off the fence and come and join them. And then as I keep digging down in here, this is just simple 4-page newsletter type thing. Again, color, not cheap to print. And the biggest thing is, here is a 182-page booklet, spiral bound, has the glossy plastic cover on the front. This has more information than my #1 best-selling book that I've given. And I'm sure it's, so it's not cheap to print, not cheap to spiral bound. Plus, think of the copywriting that it took to go in here and the time. Because I'm sure it's a 182-page sales letter for whatever they are selling, which I'll tell you here in a minute. And then I finally get an order form with a coupon right here for early bird discount. So if I hurry and sign up, I can get a discount on this. And I'll share with you right now no, I'm not. Well, I'll share this information. They want me to come to a seminar that they are putting on, a 2-day seminar. And I've been to 2-day seminars before, and they're kind of fun, they're educational, and I get information in the mailbox all the time to come to a seminar. But everyone else, when they try to get me to come to their seminar so they can sell me stuff, what they do is they either send me a postcard that's half this size. It's usually just black and white, very cheap, and some information on the front, very little information on the back that says, hey, come to our seminar, we'll have a great time. Or if they get really fancy, they'll send me like an invitation or a note card in the mail, and you open it up, there's a note card that says, hey, come to our seminar and learn about ABC, and there's 2 tickets in there, and they want me to come with those tickets, and that's pretty simple. Both of those examples are saying, how little can we spend to get a customer to come to our seminar where we can sell them stuff? And I have no problem with people trying to sell me stuff if it's something I'm interested in. I want them to sell me stuff. Just like you hope your ideal client wants you to sell them stuff. But these guys are looking at how much more can we spend? Because here's the truth about marketing. The one that spends the most wins the game. And speaking of that, that brings me up. I'm going to just pause. I forgot to do this at the front. If you would like to get my free training, 7 specific ways that you can maximize client value so you can annihilate your competition, before you leave this page, just click on the Learn More button up on top, and that will take you to my digital hub right here on Facebook, so you don't have to leave Facebook. Scroll down, there will be a button that says Annihilate Your Competition. Click on that, and you can gain access to my free training, 7 specific ways to annihilate your competition. Now, this or to maximize client value so you can annihilate your competition. And the reason I bring that up is because in that there are specific ways that you can generate more income for your business so that you have more money to spend to generate more customers. All while those 7 ways are bringing in new customers. So it's a very fascinating training. So I just want you to think about life a little differently. How much more can you spend on marketing? Because think of it. Let's go back to the original question or scenario. You spend $100 to bring in 10 new prospects. Well, what if you spent $120 and now you brought in 15 new clients? So you've just increased your revenue by 50% by only spending an extra 20%. And let me show you why you want to do that. Because what has this done to me? As a marketer, the postcard, the envelope, I throw it in the garbage. As a marketer, I look at it and study and say, oh, they should have done this. They could have done this. They should have done this on there. It would have helped them so much. And so I analyze it with all these great ideas for them. As a consumer, right now, I'm looking at all this information and I feel a little guilty because this has been in my office for 2 days and I have not looked at it. I'm not going to throw all that away because I am guilty. I'm emotionally attached to this information because I'm thinking, what in the world are they trying to tell me? Why do they need all this stuff to sell me their seminar? Now, I am going to tell you something. The seminar they want me to go to is $2,100. No, $3,100. No, $3,900. Yeah, $3,900 for a 2-day seminar. However, because I've traveled across the country, which does not say where the conference is on the order sheet, it's basically saying, though, since you've left your office, you've come out here, we're going to do a 3rd day of training. And the 3rd day of training is only $1,900 with your early bird registration. So they understand they want me to spend $6,000 with them. They know if I go, they've first got that $6,000. I know they're going to sell training, coaching, CDs, books, etc. at the back of the room. And they know, chances are, I don't know their number, but either 50% of everyone that attends is going to spend another $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000. That is because of the quality of the lead that they have. So obviously, if you're selling a $10 or $15 or $20 item, obviously you can't spend $30 to send a marketing piece. So it all goes back to what is the average lifetime value of my client? What is the average acquisition cost? How can I increase that acquisition cost to increase the lifetime value of my customers and to get more of those customers? So let's just go into the second article here real quick. And I'm not going to read a lot. We've been here with a half hour. I appreciate you sticking with me. But there are a couple things in here that I really want to point out to you. And it says, 26 tips for better Facebook page engagement. And again, we're not going to go through 26. I've got 2 that I'm going to share with you. And this was published October 3rd from the Social Media Examiner. It will have a link in the book tomorrow or in the comments tomorrow morning. But you go here, and number 1 is pose a question. So let's say you are a restaurant, a pizza restaurant. A question could be is, what is your favorite pizza? And tried to get my Italian accent going on there. You know, how do you like your crust? Thin, thick, medium? What's that, pan pizza? So how do you like that? And as you do this, you create some engagement. Plus, you as a business owner, you're learning about your audience. What do they like? Maybe you think everyone likes pepperoni, but you find out that really the majority of people like combination. And now you say, okay, well, I sell more pepperoni, but they like combination. How come? Now you can send out a survey or pose another question. Why don't you buy combination pizza more often? Why do you buy pepperoni over combination? Just little things like that to gain more engagement, gain more insight on your clients. The second one is ask fans to make a choice. And this is hilarious. Ask people to choose a side, pick a favorite, or make a choice between 2 things. And I want to share this with you because I have a funny story, at least it's hilarious to me. But about 5 years ago, on a Saturday afternoon, I heard something on the radio that made me think, wonder what the market share of iPhones are. You know, what is the market share that Apple holds on iPhone? And so I Googled it, and I saw that they were like 17.1, but we'll just call it 17 to round everything off. It was like 17%, which really surprised me that it was that low. Android had like 80%, and BlackBerry had 3% of the market share. Now, I'll confess, I had a BlackBerry once. The happiest day in my life was the day that my contract was up, that I could get rid of that BlackBerry. And I almost did not buy another smartphone because of that. But I did. So, being a little ornery that day, wanting to just see how angry I could make people, I wrote a post on Facebook. I wasn't using it for business. This was just my personal page. And I just wrote, hey, just did a Google search, wondering how much, what the market share was for iPhones. I was shocked because I found out that BlackBerry has 3%. And then I went on and said, what I want to know is, who is this 3%? And why will their service provider not allow them to upgrade their phone? So I wanted to agitate the BlackBerry people, and I was expecting them to come back on and say, BlackBerries rock, BlackBerry will rule the world one day, or whatever the case may be. But what happened was kind of surprised me, because what happened was the iPhone users got on and said, iPhone rules, they rock, it does A, B, C. And then the Android users got on, no, Android rocks, it does X, Y, Z. And there was a little argument and going back and forth between the iPhone users and the Android users. I never accomplished my goal, which was to get some BlackBerry users on there, which someone told me a week or 2 later that was because they couldn't find Facebook on their BlackBerry, which I would agree with at that time. So just being obnoxious. If you're a BlackBerry user, my sympathies. So, but I did create engagement. So you can do fun things like that. It provides a giggle, it lightens the mood, but it gets a little engagement going on. So we'll close with that. We've been about 34 minutes, and we'll close with that information. But again, if this is the first time to the show, please like the page and be notified of live events and other things, the announcements made here on this page. If you want a free training, 7 secrets to maximize client value so you can annihilate your competition, just go and click the Learn More button and that will take you to my digital hub again. Scroll down, click the button that says annihilate your competition, and you'll have access to a video training as well as a 7-part checklist of those 7 specific things you can do.